Hello to the TLC meeting, 28th of October. We have our usual agenda without any working group updates. Let's start with the reviewing the action items from last week. So there is a suggestion by Greg about the AI disclosure. And I also generated the RFC number and issue for the accepted RFC. Do you want to say something about the disclosure, Greg?
Not especially. I PR'd a document into a subdirectory of the TOC directory of the community repository. The runtime platform working group had already created their own subdirectory, so it seemed like there was a pattern in place. So I won't read through it in detail, but we have a working
Yeah,
group meeting later today, so we'll discuss it as a working group there.
yeah. Okay. So then we can proceed with the dashboard. This one is, I think we need to decide at some point maybe to make that draft. On the RFC side, there's only updates in the pickup, let's see if pickup speed dump functionality to the CRM apps. So there is one update from Maximilian. So I think the only open point is this one, to my understanding. Most probably we need to ping the ARP, the platform contributors to provide the comment here. I don't think they will just see the comment. I will create an action item for you to just ask him the working group for feedback. Do we have any other comments on that? I didn't have time to deeply into the updates.
I know Ruben had also posted on it, but he didn't follow up with anything.
So I will ask in the Diego Slack channel about if anyone has any opinion on the point here. And with the rest, Maximilian checked with our security expert, and they updated the RFC accordingly. But still, we need some time here. Okay, there's also discussion about tracking the status of the efforts which are happening regarding the field text and stack automation. So I created an issue. So here, you can see all the PRs which are related to this effort. I think we will organize them in a comment, but at the moment they are just mentioning this issue. In case you're interested to check. So this one is then also in progress. can just add. And the rest, I think, is still not in progress. On the issue side, we have this. There was another update by GitHub about these unaffiliated users. It looks like they extended the settings you have in the enterprise account settings. So there people can select now what happens with those with the accounts which are off-ported from one organization. And yeah, so we need to select option 2 there. This is the option 1, option 2, so that we have a complete off-boarding of a user from the enterprise account when we execute the automation. This is my understanding. I tried to find the policy here. I didn't see the policy, at least with my user. Maybe this is something which admins can do. Maybe Chris, maybe you have the rights to check here. Chris Clark.
I'll take a look. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll take a look after the call.
yes, yeah. It is then in progress. So we're looking at this. Yeah, see action item 2. Okay. And there's a new one. So this was suggested by Aaron. So that we have slightly different branch protection rules for the automation folder. It can make the updates of the pipelines easier. You can, if you have any feedback on this, please put your comments here.
Yeah, I guess it might be technically possible with these extended rules. I haven't looked into it, but for sure the automation won't support this. It could be done, of course, with some additional magic after setting up the branch protection rules with this branch protector and then manually applying those rules. But that also sounds, or there's a risk of a race condition. Yeah, whenever the automation runs, that these rights disappear until they are reset. I don't know. That would need to be tested.
We'll learn all the different names that people have for their CI subdirectory.
Of course, it has to be configurable, sure.
Or I mean, you just say, well, if you really care about this, then you need to rename your directory to /CI.
Yeah.
We can also argue like this can be a risk from security risks. So being able to just push to that folder can be used to attack the supply
We'll do
chain.
stuff like, sorry. We'll
Yeah,
do
go
stuff like
ahead.
this when we're doing like our develop branches and things like that. But once you want to get back to main, like you're done messing with concourse, like that's a real PR. That's got to go all the way back up and through.
Mm.
So I'm not a great fan of just saying the CI subdirectory, whatever the heck it's called in your repo, is just, yeah, anybody can
Only
commit
approvers,
and
not anybody, but
Yeah,
only approvers.
not anybody.
okay. It's still approved, but yeah.
There's no review needed basically for the PR. Let's see.
Our security guys would go nuts. But
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, like, approvers probably already have access to, in most cases, setting the pipeline themselves. So, like, in practice, the approvers already have the ability to configure the real pipeline however they want. This would just be a matter of making sure that what you have in Git lines up with that.
mhm.
Now, theoretically, you could imagine a world which I don't know working group by working group or repo by repo how people have it set up, but you could imagine a world where the only way to set the pipeline is via GitOps or whatever. And so that world, this would actually like have that barrier there.
Mhm.
I guess that's also assuming concourse, because
Well, yeah, that's that's another thing because I think everybody's used to self-setting their pipelines now. But yeah, as soon as you introduce, I don't know,
yeah, is this going to cover
something
the
else?
.github directory also?
Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe
Yeah,
there's some more thought
interesting
needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like it doesn't hurt to ask. This one feels like there's a lot more in it.
Good questions. Yeah, please put them in the issue.
interesting because especially for workflows, I don't think that we need it. I mean, here's the PR mechanism is really nice because you can test your workflows in GitHub Actions nicely. And the review doesn't hurt, especially for the CI.
So with Concourse, you can change the branch, which is used by Concourse, and use your PI branch.
It's unclear from this ask here what is actually inside. Is it pipelines or is it state, for instance?
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah.
I'm just used to CI folders having a pipeline.yaml somewhere in there.
Okay, let me put it there. Any other questions? So some. Okay. So just to get okay. Okay. This is all we have on the dashboard. Now another business. There was a question in the docs channel today about PRs which are not merged into the Cloud Foundry tutorials. particularly in this repository. So it looks like people are using the tutorial. There are some PRs which they would like to be merged. I'm not sure.
I'll ping
about-
Steve on that. I don't think he's really monitoring that. I'm kind of surprised to see PRs on these, but yeah, I'll have some people take a look.
And this is, I was wondering about, is this belonging to the foundation, the organization, or how is the?
Yeah, it is. And this is, I mean, these are all open source. These are a few different ones. Some of these are pretty well deprecated and they're archived. And I'd have to,
Yeah.
I'll take a look at this whole org and maybe deprecate a couple more and see what's still in use. And I'll ping Steve about those PRs.
I can also ask the person who was interested whether he's interested also to get active here, review or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
We have some tutorials on the website that are active. And yeah, some of these are yeah, like TriCF is pretty old school. So yeah, okay. I'll take a look at this.
okay. Another action items.
All right.
And I also asked the person whether he's interested to get active here and get used. Another topic is the CFCLI. There is a discussion about that plugin maintainers are currently blocked to update the version of the CLI which is referenced by the plugin. So to import the latest version because the project is not using all modules and somehow I didn't look into the details, but there is a PR which suggests what could be done to unblock the situation.
Yeah, the root or the like summary of what's going on here is CLI was never really supported being imported as a Go module. It was always supposed to be consumed as a binary, but de facto people imported it as a module, and also in order to use the plugin interface, you had to import it. But the whole plugin interface comes from long before Go modules were a thing. And so the main issue right now is Go modules, when you do a major version, want you to like have like each major version be represented in the Go mod and in your import path. So it's a like small but some existing breaking change to change your import path to include the major version in it. So there's some discussion around like, is this something we can do within the context of V8? And it's also like a pretty big change because it touches basically every file in the CLI to change the import path. So I know there are people looking into this again because multiple people are getting bit by it as they try to import the CLI as a Go module instead of as a binary. So there is active discussion going on with it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yes.
I think the options are, since this theoretically wasn't like super well supported previously, maybe we just bite the bullet and just change the import path, or maybe there's like justification for, or this is justification for it being like a super minimal V9, where V9 is basically just a modularized version of V8 or something like that. I don't know. There are some discussions here around like what the correct path forward is.
Yeah.
But I
This
think those are
person-
mostly happening on Slack.
I didn't see anything in the CLI channel. I don't know why they're happening, but
Yeah, I'll try to surface some of the discussion that's going on.
Yeah, will be great. And the person here is also interested to help, could be involved in the discussions. He looked into this. He is, I don't know him. Yeah. Okay, great. So and I also added here the cuts topic, cost saving and buying cuts.
Sounds good.
Okay, right on time. Yeah. So we have now the document. There is some context in the document. David, you had also a suggestion how to proceed.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd be happy to let you know what I would do here. So our goal is to buy, in my opinion, some resource-based commitments and some spend-based commitments.
Yeah.
And the resource-based commitments apply first, as long as they match. And so what I've done in the past is I buy the resource-based commitments first and just validate for a few days how much is being used, and how much spend is left. And then figure out what's the spend-based commitment that we want to do to try to mop up, 80% or 70% of the remaining spend. My proposal would be to buy E2 resource instances only in US Central 1, because that's where the majority of our usage is. So rather than trying to consolidate on a different region and moving more workloads, my proposal would be move as few workloads as possible by the most common region that we have. If we think we have consistent spend in another region, we could buy another commitment for that region as well, or we could decide to consolidate in one region. But I would encourage us to consolidate on the region where the actual consumption is, rather than the hypothetical best region, because it's a pain to move all this stuff, right?
And your analysis was about that US Central 1 is the region. So here's the
Yeah.
screenshot you.
Yeah, exactly. It's really unfortunate. Google won't give you a kind of a billing account wide consumption of US Central 1. It will give you a consumption by project. But what we believe we should do is buy the commitment in the Cloud Foundry administrative account, which is a little admin account that doesn't have any VMs in it, and then turn on sharing so that the commitment can be shared to any available project. This is nice because it doesn't give one project priority over the commitment. The commitment is kind of spread out proportionally over all the projects. And of course, is really good because you want it to get used, right? Most importantly, you want the commitment to actually get used regardless of where it's purchased. So this is a strategy that Pivotal and VMware used to buy your commitments in a kind of a shell empty holding account, and then let it get spread out anywhere. So that would be my proposal. You can take a look at the number, but Google is recommending that we can buy that. If we buy a commitment for US Central 1, and we're using a lot of it now, 90% of it or something like that, and later our usage falls, we can also move some workloads into US Central 1 to use up that commitment as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris and I were discussing the idea that we buy the resource-based commitments for 1 year and a spend-based commitment for 3 years. Because the resource thing isn't very flexible, right? It's like a specific SKU in a specific region. So it's a little dangerous to buy that for any really long period of time, right?
So I also been looking into our compute spends over the last 40 days. So especially our per hour, how much we spend. It looks like we are spending more than $15 per hour for compute flexible cuts.
Right. But you have to be careful, because if you buy a $15 an hour commitment, that actually
Yeah.
gets you about $25 worth of spend, right? Because of the discount, right? So I generally look at what Google tells me, or I do the math and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get 50 some odd percent, 57% or something, right? And therefore, we should clearly, buy this amount.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't have any experience with buying cuts. Looks like you have some best practices which you discovered.
Yep, exactly. If you buy the resource ones first, you see how much is left. You put the purchase in a holding account so that it doesn't apply unfairly, right? Sorry, I'm getting on the
Yeah.
train. And then you look at Google's recommendations, because you don't want to overbuy, and they're taking into account your consumption, but also the discount rate, right? Discount rate, very important, because if you don't take that into account, you double buy. You can also buy it over multiple purchases, right? You buy like some now, some next month, right? Rather than buying it all at once, just to see how it works.
Yep, sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get these purchased sometime this week. I mean, we could even do that right after this call, or kind of in this call. Maybe we won't record that part. I don't necessarily want to share my billing console screen live, but I mean, I think purchasing just a kind of a modest purchase today, in both of those categories, both the resource based and then a 3-year flexible. And then see how the recommendations change in a month, and then making a second purchase this year. I think that might be a good approach.
Yeah.
I can hang out in a little bit, Chris. I'm on the train, but in 15 minutes I could jump on and we could buy something, or 8:30 or something. I could jump on to buy something.
Yeah, Beyhan, you're free then?
Yeah, I have time until.
Okay, let's do that then should we say in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
so I'll send out an invite for Beyhan and David. Do other folks want to join on this? I don't think it's necessary, but if someone else wants to join his opinion, or is just curious, that's fine. If someone else from the TAC and the TSC wants to join.
I'm going to abstain simply because it's financial bits and I'm not allowed to play.
Fair. Yeah, fair, Chris. Okay, well, lovely then. I'll set that call up for, what is that, 8:30 Pacific?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to discuss? Okay, then we are done for today. Yeah.
Just want to give an official thanks for folks working on getting the build packs and stacks glued back together, because saw that the Go Build Pack had a new release cut for it. So that's exciting for some of us operators.
Fingers crossed for the next ones. Yeah. Let's see. All right, then have a nice day, evening. Thank you for joining and take care. See you next time. Bye bye.
See you.
Take care,
Thanks all.
folks.